Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas's Wednesday evening service. I'm Reverend Laura, and it is my pleasure to be here with you tonight. This month, we are focusing on the idea of peace, the quality of peace, and bringing more of an experience of peace into our lives on a more consistent basis. And as we are focusing on this idea of peace, we're using the spiritual practice of mindfulness to help us get to a greater sense of peace in our lives, to experience peace more frequently, and to balance things out a little bit, allow ourselves to be less reactionary to the events that are happening in our lives, and more contemplative. By doing that, we can get to a greater sense of peace in all different areas. This idea of mindfulness has been around for eons, thousands of years, that people have been practicing mindfulness in one way or another. And mindfulness is a type of meditation. It's not, all meditation is not mindfulness, and all mindfulness does not have to be sitting in the lotus position, chanting or oming out or anything else. We don't have to be absolutely perfectly still to be mindful, but we can enhance that degree of mindfulness in our lives when we are experiencing the practices that I'm going to go through this month with you to give us that greater sense of mindfulness. You can be mindful while you are working. You can be mindful while you're, ironing clothes or washing dishes or taking a walk. There are all kinds of ways in which we can enhance the experience of mindfulness in our lives. And when we do that, we can actually begin to eliminate a lot of the stresses in our lives. Stress is caused by spending too much time either in the past or in the future. It's having things that have happened to us in our past still have a hold on us. Things that we haven't let go of yet, things that we haven't gotten to a place where we could forgive or to actually even release them from our experience. There's still a charge to those events that happened in our lives in the past. Or we are stressed out about something that's going to happen in the future, something that hasn't yet occurred, something that we're worried about, or that we have somehow built into a bigger thing than it is. We catastrophize things very easily in our minds. These amazing vehicles that we have for thinking can also be some of the most detrimental things to us. Is this brain that we have. It's designed to think. It's designed to process information. It's designed to keep us safe and to keep our bodies functioning. But it can also be a hindrance to how we experience life, because we become lost in the thoughts, and the thoughts take on a life of themselves. If you ever had that experience where you all of a sudden you see something and it triggers a thought, and then you go down a whole path of, oh my God, what is that going to be? Just a simple one would be like, all of a sudden the traffic slows down in front of us and we start to think, oh my God, am I going to be late for work? Oh no, what if there's an accident up ahead? How long is this going to keep me delayed? What am I going to do? Is there a better route I should take? Maybe I should get off here and try something else. You see how quickly our minds just go. Like, if this happens in 10, 15 seconds, we go from the traffic is slowed down to, oh my God, this is a horrible thing and I'm going to be late. Or there's somebody up there that's injured, or things like that. We catastrophize it in our minds. It just goes crazy on us. At least that's been my experience. I'm assuming it's most people's experience too. That these brains, these wonderful mechanisms that are designed to keep our bodies functioning and our lives going throughout our daily existence, can be our worst nightmare too. So, practicing mindfulness is about reducing the opportunity the brain has to take us down those rabbit holes, to take us into a place where we are stressed out, where we are feeling high anxiety or anger or fear or any of those emotional traits that actually grow into something catastrophic in our lives. Stress is one of the most contributing factors to illness in our lives. The stress that we feel, we we feel stress in our bodies, we internalize it. It changes our chemical structure in our bodies and in our brains, because it's producing all of these different hormones that are a reaction to the stress that we're seeing from the environmental stress that we're experiencing. These hormones and chemical reactions in our bodies start to denigrate our cells and to cause inflammation and different things that our bodies are trying to do in a misguided attempt to protect us. Our body is reacting to the stress in a negative way that actually begins to build in there. I remember when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2014, I remember one of the first thoughts that came to my mind was, this is from holding things in. This is from not saying what I need to say. And this is from allowing that stuff inside of me to build and become a stressor. And I made a commitment to myself to not hold things back anymore, to not, to keep things, trying to control things and try to make things, fit in the world better, that I was done doing that because this is how it had reacted in my body. Fortunately, it was a limited experience and everything's wonderful now, but, I think stress contributes to our illnesses more than just about anything else around there. I mean, it's certainly a huge factor in our health and well-being. And so if we can find ways that we can eliminate the stress and not experience it quite so much anymore, I think we can definitely get to a healthier place and a place of greater peace in our lives. A place where we are in the world, but the world isn't controlling us. You know, we exist in the world. We have to deal with the things that happen in the world, but we don't have to have stress around it. Currently, I'm going through that process of buying a home, and there's all kinds of, things that could really lead me into a place of feeling stressful. And yet there's this overwhelming sense within me like it's just a process. And I take each step as it comes and get through into the end. Hopefully, tomorrow I'll be signing my documents, but, anyway, it's just every day there's something else that the loan processors need to get everything completed. And it's like, I could go down that rabbit hole of like, oh my God, this is never going to be done. What am I going to do? I put all this money into it. I've made arrangements for movers, all of this stuff, but I don't feel any stress over it. And I do attribute a lot of that to my spiritual practices, to, feeling grounded and centered more in my life through the practice of mindfulness, through the practices of meditation, through prayer, and, all of the work that I do on a daily basis to keep myself at that place of peace. We can be a victim or in the effect of the world, or we could be an observer of it and know that it's happening and allow it to be what it is and just let it be. We have a choice in every moment. How are we going to react to every moment that we experience? So I'm going to take us through a little practice of mindfulness tonight to alleviate some of the stress. This is a little bit more of a guided meditation than I usually do, because what I'm going to do is have you bring to mind something that might be causing you stress right now. And then we're going to go through a series of questions just to begin to explore it. So again, mindfulness is not about eliminating all of our thoughts. It's about changing the reaction that we have to the thoughts as they come up. And by asking some of these questions, we can begin to get clarity about what's going on in our lives. And when we get clarity about it, it doesn't become such a thing. We actually see it for what it is, and we have that opportunity to let it be and not be in a state of reaction to it. So some of the questions that I'll ask are clarifying questions. One of them that has been asked to me by one of my mentors for years is, when I'm caught in a story, she looks at me very sweetly and says, "Is that true, honey?" So it's like, is that true? Is that exactly what is happening, or is it something I've built up? There are levels of trueness too. Like, yes, on the fundamental surface level, this is true. But have I created something bigger because of it? Have I taken it and catastrophized it and made it into this giant thing that is now a stressor in my life? or is it just what it is? And so that's some of the kind of questions that we're going to ask as I go through this meditation. And so we'll have a little bit of background music here, and just get ourselves in a position of being comfortable. You can choose however you want to. Some people like to lay down while they meditate. That makes me go to sleep. That's up to you. You can sit on the floor. You can sit in a chair, however you want to do. You can even walk around as you're listening to this meditation if that is more beneficial to you. Sometimes that movement can be a release of pent-up energy that is making the situation worse. And so sometimes that's helpful for you too. But however you do it, it doesn't really matter. I like to sit in a straight chair. I like to kind of sit up straight, right, just pretty much like I am right now. I have armrests, so my arms are on the armrest. You can also lay them in your lap, just so they're supported and not there's no tension there. You want to make sure that that your breath is flowing easily, so that you're not, like, if I lean forward like this, it kind of inhibits my breathing. And so I want to have my neck more erect, but I don't want it to start, stiff and straight like this, because then that's also tension in my body. I want my arms and shoulders to be loose, so that they're just, they're there. I know that they're there. I feel supported by the chair. My arms are on the armrest. I can feel my back against the chair. You can lean back if you like to. If you want it, if that works for you, you can lean back in the chair. I like my feet on the ground. It kind of makes me feel more connected and grounded and centered. There's a tangible anchor that's keeping me knowing, without even having to think about it, I know that my body is safe. And so, however it works for you, if you want to sit cross-legged, sit in the lotus position, if that works for you, that's great. If you want to, like I said, lay down on a bed or a couch or whatever, that's okay too. If you'd like to do a little movement, you can do that as we're going through the meditation. It really is truly up to you. I suggest that you try different ways, not necessarily in the same meditation, but try different ways to see what is an optimal meditation position for you. That's one of the things I love about the spiritual practice of meditation. There really isn't a lot of rules to it. You can really do it in so many different ways, and so many different experiences of it, and places, and methods, and modalities. And so it's just really a wonderful practice. So tonight we're going to do this mindfulness meditation to look at stress in our lives and see if we can get to a greater sense of peace through that. So I just invite you to get comfortable, like I said. I like to close my eyes. It works better for me if I'm not having that visual distraction. And then I like to just take in some breaths to connect me with my body a little bit better. I don't usually change the flow of my breath. I just am more conscious about breathing. And I just do that for a moment or two to get myself feeling at peace in my body. If anything in my body starts to want my attention, if there's a twitch or a pain or a cramp or anything like that, I just breathe into it. I don't try to push it away, but I just acknowledge it. Let it be. Sometimes I will consciously direct breath to that area. And I do that just by visualizing the breath moving in through my nostrils and down my body to that particular spot. And letting it release anything that's there, any tension or pain or anything that's there, and just allowing that breath to move on out. So now I'd like you to bring to mind something that is a bit stressful in your life right now. It doesn't have to be the most stressful thing. just something that's comes to your awareness. Don't judge what comes to your mind right away. Just let it be. Just accept it for what it is. Remember, a key component to mindfulness is not judgment. So whatever comes to your awareness first off is perfectly fine to work with. And just begin to notice your thoughts around the situation. I want you to acknowledge whether this situation is an experience from the past or something you're anticipating in the future. If it is a past experience, what is coming up for you around it? Are there other people involved? Is this a regret over something you've done? Is it a sense of anger or maybe betrayal over something you feel was done to you? Is there anything from the past attached to this thing that's causing you stress right now? And just sit with it for a moment. Watch your thoughts without judging them. Just become aware of them. What are the future thoughts around this stressful situation? Is there any thing that's going to be happening in the future because of it? Is there anything you need to do in the future to help release it from you? For instance, maybe some forgiveness work is needed for yourself or for someone else involved in the situation. Remember, forgiveness is not about letting somebody off the hook. It's about not letting the situation have a hold on you anymore. Forgiveness is the ultimate freedom from stress. Is there anything I need to forgive in order to release the situation? Is there any anxiety within me about what might be happening in this situation? Is there anything that I feel like I need to try to control or to change? What are my fears about this situation? What am I afraid that is going to happen? Or what am I afraid of that might not happen? Am I afraid of my reaction or how I'm going to deal with this situation? Or am I afraid of somebody else's reaction? Remember to allow these thoughts to come up without judgment, but simply with the intention of becoming clear and aware of what is moving through my thoughts around this situation. Now bring your awareness back to your breath, back to this very present moment. Is there any part of this stressful situation that you can do something right now? As you're focusing on your breath in this very present moment, what part of this stressful situation is alive in you? It's easy to remember as we focus on our breath that in this very moment, Nothing else is needed. That we are safe in our breath. That our bodies are safe where they are. That this stress does not have any effect in the very present moment. The stress exists in the past or in the future. But right here and right now, everything is perfect. Okay, I'm gonna take in a couple more deep breaths. Maybe begin to gently move in your seat. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All of life's stress exists in the past or in the future. It's not here with us in this very instant. Because in this very instant, everything is complete. And when we're in peace with that, then we can handle anything in the past or the future that comes our way. So I invite you to practice this throughout the week. As the stressors of your life come up, and they do for all of us. As they come up, take a look at them mindfully. If there's something that's happening in the present moment that you can do something about, then do it. But if it's a future thing, let it be for the future. If it's a past thing, do your work around letting it go. I have lots of videos on forgiveness out there, so if you wanted to find some of that, look at our previous Wednesday night services. And I know somewhere there's a video of me doing forgiveness work because I do it all the time. So next week we're going to look at how to use mindfulness to help alleviate pain in our lives. You know, pain is, especially as we get a little older, it's one of those things that can be problematic. And so we're going to look at mindfulness as a way of releasing some of the pain, some of the health challenges that we might be experiencing in our life. You know, as I said, I've been using it for more than 15 years, and my body's in pretty good shape. I mean, you know, there are things I still need to work on, but overall it functions quite well. So keep an eye out for our next Wednesday night services. You can check us out on our YouTube channel all the time. If you haven't experienced our Keeping It Real yet, that's my Thursday morning quick spiritual practice to help us solidify some of these ideas. And again, like I am on Wednesday evenings, I'm doing mindfulness, so you get a little different take on mindfulness each week, different than what we're doing on Wednesday nights. So reinforcing that stuff. They're usually about less than 10 minutes long, so it's Thursday morning at 9 a.m. at broadcast, but of course you can find it at any time on our YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for being with me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next week, or having you see me next week on our YouTube channel. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Here at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number, and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
Monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details.
Keeping it real, keeping it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Keeping it real with Reverend Laura. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with spiritual soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.